good? Awesome. Well, welcome to the Love My Guts workshop. I'm excited to do this. It's been a while since we've had a workshop here. So welcome. For those of you I haven't met, I believe I've met everyone, Dr. Ryan Warhurst, and tonight is all about Love My Guts. And here's the thing, is the gut has such an impact on health, and we're going to do a deep dive there. Here's the fact of the matter is that the gut, and not a lot, some people do, but many aren't aware of the impact or all the different impacts that the gut has on health. It has an impact on heart health, has an impact on the immune system, has cognitive, depression, anxiety. So the gut plays such an impact on health. And really, in our world today, or specifically our country, okay, we're living in a country that's not well. Okay, I mean that's clearly shown by what we're seeing on the news. Okay, but also with that, when we look at just statistics, going on, is that 74% of Americans have a gut issue. They talk about GI issues, diarrhea, constipation, reflux, autoimmune type issues are included. But with that being said, 1 in 6 Americans will die from cancer. Over 600,000 people will die from heart disease. Okay, so I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what the statistics show. That's what's going on. Right now, depression, anxiety is it's skyrocketing. It is skyrocketing. It is affecting every single generation. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's affecting young people. It's affecting old people. And with that, it's sad to say that suicides are never been higher. Okay, I know personally 3 young men that did that. Okay, and so with that, it's tragic. It's having an impact on whole families. Okay, with that being said, what it comes down to in light of what we're seeing going on in the health of our country is that it comes down to that these issues, okay, that are going on are happening because, I can put it this way, is that people aren't functioning at their best. Okay, or with that being said, to be fully transparent, I'll put it to you this way, is that their physiology, okay, there's something going on with their physiology. Okay, there's issues at play. And again, where I was going to be fully transparent in talking about physiology, when I was in chiropractic school, okay, this is our textbook, big guidance, medical physiology textbook, and with that, it was a stout book. And I'll say it to you this way: is that I can remember, being like, man, I can't wait to get through this, class, okay, pass the tests, okay, then pass my boards to get my license, and you know what? I'm never gonna, look at that again. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong, because what's going on in the health of people is they have, their physiology is off. There's dysfunction in their physiology, and really, when it comes down to it, we just need to restore physiology, normal physiology. We need to restore normal function. And really what we're going to be talking about tonight is how to restore normal physiology with the gut, normal physiology in the digestive system. And it's interesting, going way back to Hippocrates. Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. And it's interesting, okay, that when we look at connections of different sicknesses, different disease, These are all have been shown to have direct connection with the gut: autoimmune, brain disorders, cognitive decline, cancer, fatigue and joint pain, mood disorders, learning disabilities, hormone problems, infertility and pregnancy complications, allergies, asthma, and sensitivities. Okay? So the gut has a huge impact on health. Okay? And with that, the gut, okay, when we look at the gut and the different parts of the gut, really it comprises everything from entering to exit. Okay? From bow to stern. Okay? If you get what I'm saying. And here, it's so much more than just a tube. It's so much more than just a tube. Okay? The major players, okay, are the stomach, the intestines, or small intestine, pancreas, large intestine, colon, okay, liver, plays a part, gallbladder. So there's so many different components to the digestive system, but again, for the longest time, we were led to believe that, it's just a simple system, okay? It's a simple system. It's just, in essence, a tube, and with that, you put it in and it comes out, okay? But it's way more than that, because here's the thing, is one of the most important parts of our digestive system, or the most important job of our digestive system, is for us to be able to break down food so that we can absorb nutrients. Okay? So again, basic, food is fuel for our body. Okay? With that, if you are not able to break down your food, okay, which is fuel, and to get the fuel we need to break down the nutrients, if your body's not breaking it down, you're not going to have the fuel, okay? It's going to create problems, okay? So the absorption of nutrients is very, very critical. The lack of nutrients over a period of time creates all sorts of sickness, dysfunction, disease, okay? And with that, it goes down, I'm not just talking about carbohydrates, fats, proteins, the macronutrients. I'm talking about the micronutrients, the critical things that when the food goes down through your digestive system, it goes through the stomach acid breaks down the food, the food then goes into the pancreas, small intestine. There's digestive enzymes that help break that down so that it's absorbed each and every single nutrient. And then eventually it's going to get through the microbiome, the large intestine, and then it's eventually going to make its exit. Okay? If your body isn't able to break down the food, you're not going to get the nutrients. If you don't get the nutrients, it's going to create issues. Okay? Here's the thing with absorption of nutrients. Your bowel movements can be very telling. Okay? Okay? And again, part of tonight is Love My Guts, what you can learn about your poop. Okay? So we are going to be talking about that. I know it's not pretty, okay? But with that, it's critical to have an understanding of. Okay? So what is something, if you're not absorbing your nutrients, what do you think you could see as a result in your poop?
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea, absolutely. Constipation, absolutely.
Food.
Absolutely. That's the major sign, is that, hey, if you have a bowel movement and you see whole food, oh, I can see that's corn, that was my lettuce from the other night, here's tomato. Clearly, your body's not breaking it down. Clearly, your body's not absorbing those nutrients. Clearly, there's dysfunction in the digestive system. Okay? And so with that, absolutely, our poop can tell us a lot. Okay? And with that, it's critical to pay attention, to be aware. Okay? Someone brought up diarrhea. Okay? here's the thing, okay? We're designed to have, solid stools, okay? Not continually loose or diarrhea, okay? It's supposed to be solid, not constipated, not firm, or not hard, but excuse me, firm, okay? If it's anything other than that, there's signs that there's some issues going on, okay? With that, if you're having multiple, bowel movements a day, 4, 5, 6, that's signs that there's some dysfunction going on in the digestive system, okay? With that, that's all I want to talk about poop for right now.
That's enough.
That's enough? Okay. Another critical part of the digestive system that we're hearing more and more of now, okay, because they didn't know much about it for a long, long time until more recently, and that's the microbiome, okay? I'm sure you've all heard of the microbiome, okay? With that, the microbiome, can anybody tell me, I'm going to just start, can anybody tell me, and I may have already slipped, where is the microbiome located?
Intestines.
It's not the small, I mean it's intestines, but the majority of it is in the large intestine, the colon, okay? And what the microbiome is it's the good bugs, the bad bugs, okay? So good bacteria, bad bacteria, viruses, fungi, yeast, okay? And here's the thing about the microbiome, there's got to be balance in the good guys versus bad guys, okay? So if the good guy, if there's more good guys, guess what? Okay, that's good. Okay, if there's more bad guys, guess what? That's bad. Okay, just keeping it super simple. Okay, but the microbiome has such an impact on health. The microbiome, there's research that when there's imbalance in the microbiome, or when there's imbalance in the good guys versus bad guys, again, I'm keeping it super simple. I'm not going to go into physiology, name all the different cells. We're keeping it super simple today. But when there's imbalance in the microbiome, or the good guys versus bad guys, that's what's called dysbiosis. Okay? Dysbiosis in essence means imbalance. Okay? If there is imbalance, okay, in the microbiome, absolutely, it has such an impact on health. In fact, out of the Journal of Hypertension, it says gut dysbiosis, or imbalance in the microbiome, good guys, bad guys, is linked to hypertension. Okay? Here's the thing, is that the gut, okay, is also connected to the brain. There's 500 million neurons in the gut that connect to the brain, and guess what? If there's a gut issue, there's also a brain issue, and when there's a brain issue, there's cognitive issues, anxiety, depression, that can lead to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, things of that nature, if it's left there for long enough. Okay? So there's a huge connection between the gut, the brain. Okay? And of course, as we know, the brain is the master control system of the body, okay, or the master controller, okay, part of the nervous system, and absolutely the brain has direct connection to the gut. Okay? Also with that, again, just building connections here, the gut has such an impact on the immune system. Okay? Over 70% of our immune response resides in our gut, okay, or our microbiome, okay? So absolutely, when there's issues with the gut, it's going to have an impact on the immune system. Susceptibility to sickness, autoimmune issues, allergies, all sorts of different things, again, because of what's going on with the gut, okay? And so, diving in, here are direct symptoms of poor gut health, okay? And that can be bloating, reflux, indigestion, diarrhea, constipation, upset stomach, unintentional weight changes, inability to lose weight, sleep problems, fatigue, food sensitivity, skin problems, hormone issues. So with that, there's a lot here, okay? And with that, when gut issues are present and when gut issues are left unaddressed long enough, okay, it can turn into more IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or more autoimmune issues like Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, things of that nature, okay? And with that, so then diving in, what are typical treatments when it comes to GI issues? What are typical treatments? Pepto. So, with that, if like reflux, so an acid reducer. So if there's a plethora, okay, let's say H. pylori, or a plethora of bad guys, bad bacteria, what is often something that's prescribed? Antibiotics. Okay, so antibiotics, it wipes out the bad guys, okay, and the good guys. Okay, and so, okay, yep. So that has, and if you repeat that, over and over, that's going to continue to decimate that that microbiome, that gut. Oftentimes, if let's say that ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, because I'm seeing this a lot for people, is oftentimes because that's an autoimmune type issue, okay, guess what they typically prescribe? Nope, an immune suppressant. So let's suppress the immune system, okay, so that the immune system isn't reacting, as much as it should, so it won't affect the system or the immune system as much. So I'm just taking you through a couple examples of some different scenarios, like an acid reducer, or an immune suppressant, or I don't care what medication you put on it. Are medications, do medications restore function, restore physiology?
No, treat the symptoms. They mask it.
Yeah. They mask the symptom. They don't restore function. They don't restore normal physiology. And that's, when it comes to health, and especially when it comes to the gut, that's absolutely what's critical. Okay? And really, we can, when it comes to the gut and the healing process, it's really a three-step process to heal and recover. Identify the cause, address the interferences, and restore function. Okay? Really, that's it. Okay? With that, the causes. Let's dive into the causes. And tonight we're going to talk about really the three major causes. Okay? The first, when it comes to gut issues, what do most people think when there's a gut issue? You have a gut issue, and I don't care. It could be reflux, could be constipation, diarrhea, could be bloating, all of those things. What do most people think they need to address when there's issues like that going on? Food. New food. Yep. So with that, causes of poor gut health, absolutely, yes, nutrition. Poor nutrition, plays a part. Okay? It absolutely does, because what we put into our body absolutely affects our health. Okay? With that being said, what we eat, okay, has an impact on the inflammatory process of our body. And really, okay, what we put into our body is either causing inflammation or it's helped squash the inflammation. Okay, so in other words, there is a fire burning in each and every single one of us. So what we eat either adds fuel to that fire or it helps squash that fire. Okay? And so inflammation is involved in every single disease process known to man. Okay? Absolutely, there's not one where inflammation is not involved. Okay, and inflammation wreaks havoc on the digestive system, on the gut. Okay, and to put it simply, everyone can benefit from really eliminating 4 things. Actually, I have 5 on the screen, but you'll see where I'm going. Everyone can benefit from eliminating gluten, dairy, soy, and sugar. Okay? And here's why. Is each of these absolutely causes inflammation. Inflammation absolutely is a huge, has a huge impact, negative impact on the body. Okay? And again, any issues, health issues, there's inflammation involved. Okay? And I will say inflammation is really the foothold. When inflammation starts to take over, that's when problems arise. Okay? So God must eliminate these things. And again, must eliminate these foods, processed foods. Again, to put it simply, processed foods, really things that come in boxes. There's you read the ingredients, you can't pronounce what's on it. Okay, if you can't pronounce it, don't put it in your body. Really the best way to look about eating is really eat whole foods, not at Whole Foods, but whole foods. Okay, things that don't have ingredient lists. Okay, they don't have labels of produce. Okay, veggies, fruits. Okay, those things. Okay, proteins. Those are. Again, I just want to keep it simple. Okay, tonight. Okay, eat whole foods. Okay, eliminate these things. Okay, and that's going to have a big impact on reducing inflammation. Okay, if you want to, if you want more questions, or you have more questions about what to eat, really dive into our Align Your Health book, the nutrition plan, cruise ship nursing home, the ML books. With that, there's different plans, the advanced plan, the core plan, that really lay things out. Okay, very specifically, very detailed, and again, it's all about reducing the inflammation in the body. Okay, and so if you haven't read those books, read those those books. Start implementing. And here's the thing: is that a lot of people, let me say it this way. A lot of people have no idea. We talk about inflammation, okay, and with that, they say, yeah, I get that, but how do I know if I'm inflamed? Okay? How do I know if there's inflammation, going on in the body? And I'll say it this way: one of the best ways to know, is a blood test. It's C-reactive protein. Okay, C-reactive protein is the baseline inflammatory marker of the body. Okay, ideally you want that to be less than 1. Okay, anything over that, okay, it shows that there's some signs of inflammation. Okay, and with that, when I see, and again I'm seeing this a lot, is that when inflammatory or C-reactive protein markers get super high, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, almost always it's indicative, okay, of a gut issue. Okay, so again, I just wanted to throw that in there. Another thing that I hear oftentimes is that I don't eat that much sugar. Okay, great. Okay, I understand you don't eat that much sugar, but do you know what your A1C level is? Okay, no, I don't. Well, that's really one of the best ways to understand what your blood sugar is, and that's looking at blood sugar over a period of time. Okay, and with that, you want that to be below 5. Okay, anything over that, shows that hey, there's improvements to be had in blood sugar. Okay, so again, eliminating the sugar, eliminating these things are going to be very helpful. But when you get above 5.7, 6.4, like we're dealing with prediabetes, diabetes, happens over 7. So again, some things that you need to be cognizant of. But again, to put it simply, I like to keep things simple. Eliminate these things. That's going to help reduce the inflammation in the body. Okay. With that, oftentimes, people will ask me, well, what are some things that I can take? What are some supplements that can be beneficial to help with overall health? Okay, and specifically the gut. A couple things that that come to my mind is omega-3s. Okay, omega-3 because that has such an impact on inflammation. Okay, omega-3s is fish oil. Okay, fish oil has a really properties, anti-inflammatory properties. It's critical for the brain, it's critical for the heart, those things. So again, an omega-3 critical. Also with that vitamin D3, but also with that, most people, when they think of gut health, they also think of probiotics. And a lot of, I would say, a lot of people can absolutely benefit from probiotics, because again, that helps in balancing the good guys over the bad guys. Okay, and so with that, the vitamin D3 does have probiotic in it, and so with that, in the daily essentials for men and women, it has the optimal omega, has the vitamin D3 and probiotics. Also has magnesium in it. Magnesium is used in over 350 different processes in the body. One of the processes that it helps with is reducing inflammation. Okay, so again, just some things that can be very beneficial. And with that, because there's a men and a women's, there's a multivitamin. Again, one for men, one for women. And then last but not least, a B complex. Okay, and then with that, another thing that is very helpful or really soothing and can be healing to the gut is bone broth. Okay, bone broth is absolutely healing to the gut. Okay, and that's something that can again, when going back, I'm sure when you guys, or should I say, I will say, when I was fighting something when I was young, okay, my mom and dad would actually fix me some bone broth, okay, or it was chicken noodle soup, but it was bone broth is what they would use, because with that it has an impact on the gut, but also the microbiome, and that has an impact on the immune system. So just some things. So one of the ways to cut down on sugar, okay, is by changing your breakfast, because when you think of the average American breakfast, what's it comprised of?
Pancake. Bacon.
Bacon. Well, I don't have a problem with bacon. Toast.
Eggs.
Cereal, oatmeal, pancakes, waffles, orange juice, all of these things, it's all loaded with sugar. So a great way to reduce sugar is by doing smoothies. Okay, do smoothies. Add some frozen, fruit. And I would say lower on the glycemic index. But again, those are details we can talk about later. But bone broth protein, that's the one that I love. And we use the most, but we also switch our proteins. There's, if you're, want a plant-based, there's perfect protein also with that. For some people that aren't sensitive or have an issue with whey, it's grass-fed, so it's a great form. But over my 17 years in practice, as a chiropractor, I've heard this time and time again when I meet with a new patient, okay, is that, hey, I eat well, I take all sorts of supplements, but I'm having all sorts of GI issues. I'm having diarrhea, I'm having constipation, I'm having reflux, whatever it may be. I hear that, I've heard that so many time and time again, okay? And with that, what I know, okay, just in knowing physiology, okay, because I did look at that book again, just so you know. And looking at physiology is that another cause of poor gut health is autonomic imbalance. You might be thinking, what? Autonomic imbalance, what's that? Well, I'll put it another way. What system in the body controls all function of the body? The brain. And the brain is part of what system? The nervous system. So the nervous system controls all function of the body. The autonomic nervous system is the part of the nervous system that controls the things that happen automatically in the body. Okay, so with that, do you have to consciously, like when you eat food, do you have to consciously think about, hey, stomach, release stomach acid, digest the food, absorb the, pancreas will release the digestive enzymes. No, it happens automatically. Okay? And that's the autonomic part of the nervous system. Here's the critical thing to understand, is that the autonomic nervous system has different parts. Okay? And with that, it has the sympathetic part, or what's called the fight or flight. So when you're in a stress state, okay, when stress is coming at you, and again, we have been bombarded by stress, here in the last, couple years. With that creates a sympathetic state, and that is the fight or flight state. Okay, that dilates pupils, increases heartbeat, relaxes airways. What that does to the gut is it absolutely inhibits stomach activity. Okay? On the other hand, okay, the other side of the nervous system, okay, is the rest and digest. Okay? And what that does is that stimulates stomach activity, it slows the heartbeat, constricts the air. So again, we must have balance in the autonomic part of the nervous system. And here's the thing that people fail to recognize, okay, is that structure always affects function. Or you got to understand is that the thing that was designed to protect the nervous system can actually injure or harm the nervous system. And with that, when the spine, okay, because again, the spine is there to protect the nervous system. When the spine is out of its proper position, when it's misaligned, okay, that creates stress, or with that specifically, creates issues, okay, to the autonomic part of the nervous system, okay? And specifically, this upper neck, and this is what I want to talk about, really today. This upper neck has such an impact on health. In fact, if there was only one place I could adjust, it would be this upper neck. And the best way I can describe it is I had a patient, okay? She actually was 24 years old. She was